Senator Lazarus.
Sure. Thank you, Mr President. My question is for the honourable Senator Birmingham, representing the Minister for the Environment. Far North Queensland boasts natural wonders, including the Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree rainforest. The region desperately needs renewable energy projects to provide reliable, local and green energy solutions.
Order on my right.
A consortium of local investors have funded a proposed Cairns Mount Emerald wind farm project. The project was submitted to Mr Hunt's office for EIS approval in November 2014. To date, approval has not been provided. Could you please explain whether Mr Hunt is delaying consideration and why this project has not been approved?
The order on my right. Order. Senator McDonald. On my right. Senator Canavan. Order. The Assistant Minister for Education and Training, representing the Minister for the Environment, Senator Birmingham.
Well, thank you, Mr President. I thank Senator Lazarus for his question. Mr President, as I've told the Senate before, and I think I've told Senator Lazarus in response to questions before, Minister Hunt and the government take our responsibilities for thorough and rigorous assessment of projects under the EPBC Act quite seriously. Now, in relation to the particular project in question, I will take the details on notice because I don't have the exact timeline for that project before me, but I will happily get the information for Senator Lazarus as to how the assessment processes around that project are proceeding. I would note, of course, Mr President, that Senator Lazarus spoke about jobs in Queensland and about EPBC approvals and assessments, and this government is absolutely committed to making sure that the EPBC Act operates in the most efficient and effective way possible. And that is why Minister Hunt has ensured environmental approvals for more than $1 trillion worth of economic activity since we took office. It is why we have made sure that projects are rigorously assessed, but assessed as expeditiously as possible. It is why we are pursuing the agenda of having a one-stop shop for environmental approvals so that we can make sure projects like this are given clear air to actually be assessed in the quickest possible way, simultaneously by both state and federal governments. And, Mr President, it is why we are proposing further improvements and enhancements to the EPBC Act to ensure that projects like this, when they do get approval, can actually have the certainty that that approval will stand, that investors can have that certainty and that they will not be subject to unreasonable litigation, that we will not see incidences where we have tens of thousands of jobs held up because of technical problems or because of litigious practices. So I'll certainly get Senator Lazarus the answer to his question.
The question has expired. Senator Lazarus, a supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. I can only hope that your government becomes as thorough with mines as they do with wind farms. The Mount Emerald wind farm project will provide power in the Cairns region for up to 75,000 homes a year. Does the government understand the benefit of renewable energy provides to the country and why it is so important that projects of this nature are given prompt consideration?
Order. Minister.
Well, thanks, Mr President. The government absolutely understands that projects need to have prompt consideration. We are absolutely committed to making sure that whilst all assessment practices are rigorous, we do give prompt consideration to them. And, of course, we are determined to make sure that investors have certainty at the end of that. We want to ensure, Mr President, that those who are pursuing a project, whether it's a wind farm, whether it's a mining project, whether it's an infrastructure development project, that when they get their approvals they know that they can invest with confidence and proceed with confidence. So I'm pleased that Senator Lazarus, who I note has indicated his opposition to our latest reforms to the EPBC Act, is so concerned about investor confidence. I invite Senator Lazarus to reconsider his position because in reconsidering his position, he could be supporting confidence for the very investors he's talking about. Whatever the nature of the project is, they can then have confidence they will not face litigious practices in future that put those jobs and investment at risk.
The question has expired. Senator Lazarus, a final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. In view of the government's approach to dirty coal in favour of renewable energy, is the government deliberately delaying the approval of renewable energy projects to harm the renewable energy sector?
Minister. Minister.
Thanks, Mr President. I completely reject the assertion of Senator Lazarus. Completely reject the assertion. Every EPBC application that comes to this government is considered on its merits. Every application is considered against the law. We adhere to the law, we apply the law. That is exactly what Minister Hunt does, regardless of the nature of the project in question. We want to make sure, Mr President, though, that it is applied as effectively and expeditiously as possible. That's why we have managed to progress more than $1 trillion worth of environmental approvals since we've been in power, why we've got rid of much of the backlog that existed from the previous government. And I will make sure in relation to this one, Senator Lazarus, that we get prompt answers for you as to why those approvals have not been forthcoming yet. But I assure you, Senator Lazarus, there is no difference of treatment, but we do want to give investors the certainty so they can build and create jobs in whatever industry it is in Queensland and all around Australia.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering the question.